Welcome to the AGORACOM.com CEO interviews, where we feature great undiscovered small cap companies to the small cap investment community.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. I'm Al O'Grady, and with us today is the president and CEO of Latin American Minerals, Mr. David Wahl. Now, just as the name suggests, Latin American Minerals is a mineral exploration company focused in South America. The company combines geographical and geopolitical diversity with properties having significant potential with gold, silver, copper, lead, and zinc. Latin American Minerals trades on the TSX Venture Exchange under the symbol LAT. Mr. Wahl, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
David, let's jump right into this. Date of today's recording, Thursday, June the 11th. Earlier today, you had a press release that crossed the wires. David, tell us about it. What's going on?
Well, it's a very intriguing project for us. It's our Solaris project, which is a lithium potassium project in the Puna area of northwestern Argentina. And as it's a greenfields project, but it covers about 100,000 hectares and is strategically located on a number of salt lakes in the area. And the region hosts one of the largest concentrations of economic evaporite deposits in the world. And as I say, it's a greenfields project, but what this agreement does, and it's an agreement with a company called Grupo Minero Los Boros. And what we did was combine our greenfields assets that cover about 100,000 hectares with those of this, I'll call it Los Boros for the sake of making it easier, projects in the area, and particularly on our Calchari Salt Lake. Collectively, the Calchari Salt Lake property covers about 30,000 hectares. And it's really an intriguing project because the combined area has very, very good exploration development potential. Initial results, we've collected 37 brine samples at regular intervals across the combined Calchari and Ozaro, which is an adjacent salt lake, which most of the Los Boros property is located on. And we were getting values averaging around 800 parts per million. And the potash grades were around 0.5%, and of significance, the magnesium lithium ratios were averaging about 3.6. The brine chemistry is very favorable for lithium and potassium production, and it utilizes sort of the standard evaporation pond technology employed by the major producers in the area, such as Atacama, which is SQM's operation in Chile, right across the border, and the Silver Peak Foot Minerals Company, which is a U.S. New York Stock Exchange listed company. The mining of these things is really quite simple. It's very analogous to a farmer's well, or more analogous to, say, an oil and gas venture, where the salt brine, the salt lake is really a misnomer. It looks like a Canadian lake with ice on it. You drive on it, you drill a hole through it, and you simply intersect these salt-bearing aquifers, pump it to the surface, and use a series of the natural environment to evaporate and concentrate the material, which is typically much less expensive than your typical deep solution mining that you see in Saskatchewan or your lithium spodumene hard rock deposits. So it's given us a chance to really enhance the value of the project by combining it with this other one, Los Boros, and the significant advantage is that the Los Boros property is right next to Orocobre's property. Orocobre is an Australian-listed company, and they've just recently announced a completion of a scoping study. So we're very, very intrigued, and it's really enabled us to significantly enhance our value to our shareholders, and I think that is reflected in the deal we have struck with them today.
Okay, David, a lot of things that you had mentioned. I want to just touch on a couple of points. As I said in my introduction, in the past, at least you were gold, silver, copper, that kind of thing, but now you're into lithium. Is this a new focus? And really, I guess the question is why? Was it just because it was a fantastic potential?
Well, initially, we're not one to turn a blind eye to an opportunity if we can see an advantage. of enhancing the value and eventually getting a good return to our shareholders. We primarily like to focus on gold. However, this opportunity came up. We were looking at it a number of years ago, actually from a potash point of view. And I think that the arrangement that we've struck now in the deal, which I can get into a little later, but it really provides LAT with a potential significant realized gain by virtue of the share position that we have negotiated in the new entity.
Okay, can you give us an idea in terms of what commodity prices are for lithium?
Actually, it's a difficult thing because there's right now that it's much like when you look at nickel prices. It's what you negotiated, and certainly it's a very, very tight price. But I think looking down the road in the deal that we have struck, I think is very significant because what LAT has done is transferred its lithium and potassium assets to the Lithium American Argentinian subsidiary for 18.4 million shares of Lithium Americas. And in addition to that, we have secured a $1 million interest-free promissory note, of which $300,000 will be payable within 45 days, and the balance will be paid on subsequent Lithium American financings, which are obviously going to be planned in the future. So with the 8.4 million shares, that, I believe, I don't want to look into a crystal ball, but realistically, I think that would be something that would be a significant asset to the corporation and reflects a very good return to the shareholders given the greenfields nature of our original package.
Okay, you said you didn't want to look into a crystal ball. David, I want you to look into a crystal ball. Here's what I'm going to ask you. My last question for you. Going forward, next 3 to 6 months, what's on the books as far as this project is concerned?
Well, this project right now, I think, it's like a mother bird kicking the young ones out of the nest. This project will be run by Lithium Americas Corp., an independent entity. If I was going to hazard a guess, I would suggest that the current ongoing exploration program will continue, and that obviously the lithium market right now is very attractive. So I would suggest that the management board of the new company will expedite their program to a point of getting into a preliminary economic assessment scoping study as soon as possible.
Okay. David, that's it as far as the formal questions are concerned. However, I will leave you with the last word. Any final thoughts either about this press release or the nature of your business in general?
Well, I think that, we were very fortunate to have concluded a financing last July, which was a joint venture, which was jointly sponsored by Dundee and a group called Power One. And those funds have really held us in good stead over the last short term. And we're actively involved in other projects, of course, our Paseo by Gold project. And we are currently looking at ways to move that project forward, and we're also looking at other opportunities right now as well. So I think the shareholders of LAT can expect a continued flow of news over the next 2 months.
Okay, and I look forward to further discussions with you. David, I want to thank you very much for your time and sharing your thoughts with us about Latin American minerals.
Thanks a lot. I really enjoy it.
Okay.
Ciao. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And Latin American Minerals trades on the TSX Venture Exchange under the symbol LAT. And you've been listening to David Wahl, President and CEO of Latin American Minerals, on today's Small Cap Show, produced by AGORACOM. I'm Al O'Grady. Thanks for joining us.